friends and family, it's Bernadine from How the Hook Turns coming at you this Sunday morning. It is 6:57 in the morning. This is March the 2nd, 2025. And I have my second cup of coffee. Yes, I'm kind of late getting to this video. But I have been working this morning. I've been crocheting and knitting. I really didn't think I had much to bring to you today. I have no finished objects. I have no new whips. I'm still working on the scarf and the sock. Just varying. If I get tired of one, I go to the other and vice versa. But I do have some stuff I can bring to the table this morning for content. I want to tell you a story. It's story time from How the Hook Turns. So would you like to hear a story? If you would, hang around, let me get you set up, and chit-chat paddywhack. We're definitely going to chit-chat. What did that cat knocked off my mouse to my computer? Don't, Oliver. Don't you. You leave those knitting needles alone. I don't need teeth prints in my knitting needles. He doesn't usually bother them, but he's after the plastic. He does bother plastic. Crazy cat. No. Come on, you can't stay up here. I love you, but come on. All right, go over there then. You don't want to get down, friends. And leave my camera alone. Boy, he's nosy this morning. So we're going to chit-chat paddywhack. Don't knock the camera over. I'm going to have to move the cat, friends. Definitely. And I'll be right back. Get you something to drink. Relax. Get your project. Meet me back here. Love y'all. I'll be right back. Welcome back, friends. I hope you have something to drink. A snack if you wish. Something to work on. Nice and comfy. I'm going to tell you a story this morning. It's Sunday morning. I don't know if I already said that. I think it did. And I chose to work on this sock because there is no pattern written down. It's all in my head. There is a pattern, but it's in my noggin. Not. Whew, I don't want to hit too hard. Okay, so I want to tell you a story. I did heat my coffee up while I was gone for those few minutes to set this up. Same coffee, just heat it up a little. Okay, the story I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you're going to believe it or not. Nobody ever did, so I just quit telling the story. But I'm going to put it out there because it's a true story whether you believe it or you don't believe it. My parents didn't even believe it. The only person that could corroborate the story would be my ex-husband who was with me at the time, and he experienced what I did. But he quit telling the story too because nobody believed him either. They just thought we were two crazy teenagers. Well, we might have been crazy teenagers, but I wouldn't go home and tell my parents a lie. I don't tell lies. I never did. So, I just quit telling it. But I'm going to put it out there today. I'm going to tell you, and I could be wrong about the year, because, friends, it was either 1966, which I think it was. It could have been 1967. No, it wasn't 1966. It was not probably 1967. It could have been 1968, okay? But I do believe it was the year before I graduated high school. So that would put it 1967. The location was Houston, Texas. That's where I was born and raised. It's where I went to school. It's where I graduated high school. Yeah, it was Northeast Houston area. So my ex-husband and I had been out for the evening. He would pick me up a lot of times after school. Yes, my parents let me go out on school nights as long as I was home by 10. And always I was. If something happened, I'd certainly call my mom and let her know. But I was a reliable kid. I wasn't a troublemaker. I wasn't a liar. None of those things. I was pretty a nerdy kid, I guess, in that I didn't go out with a lot of groups of kids. But I did have my boyfriend, who ended up being my first marriage. And we had gone out to get a burger or something there, and we were coming home. He was bringing me home, and he had a car, of course, and it was a Volkswagen Doodlebug, actually. Blue, baby blue. Not that it matters in this story, but that's what it was. And we were coming down. There was this in our little subdivision of where we lived, to get to the high school and the other part, a different kind of part of town. No, it wasn't a part of town. It was just like a very long, I'm going to say it was 2 or 3 miles long of nothing but tall pine trees, okay? No civilization there, no houses, no stores. And back then, yeah, it was like that in Houston. So there was this long stretch that we had to make back and forth, because there was a hamburger joint, and my high school was at the other end of the 2 or 3 mile wooded area. And that's where we were going, because there was a burger joint over there that kids drove around in. We did that a few times. So we went over there to eat, and we did. As far as I can remember, I can't remember specifics about the outing, but I do know we had to go back and forth through that area. We were going back so he could take me home. So it was late. It was close to 10 o'clock. And of course it was dark. And we were driving, and we got near the end of the long stretch of the wooded area. And there in front of us, I almost feel crazy telling you this, because you're probably not going to believe me. But there was this object hovering above the trees, okay? Not far above the trees. And those pines are tall. I can't tell you how far up it was, but a tall pine tree out in the Houston area is pretty tall. And this thing was hovering above the trees. Big. People call it a UFO. In other stories, I don't know what to call it, but it was there, friends. And it was, I don't know what shape it was, because we only saw one side of it. It could have been round, it could have been oblong, I don't know. But it had a row of lights around the side. White lights. And he stopped the car. And we were just looking up in front of our car. And we were saying, what in the heck is that? Well, we got out of the car and we walked in front of the car. And there was no sound. And there was no sound. And there was no movement. It was just there, okay? I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy to tell it, even to this day. I didn't even tell my friends about it after my parents didn't believe us. I got to thinking, maybe they're right. Maybe we didn't see it. But we stood there. I don't know how long we stood there. Not that long. Because all of a sudden, fear struck us. We ran back and got in the car. My ex-husband, or boyfriend at the time, turned that little doodlebug around, and we headed back the other way. I don't know what happened to that thing, okay? The last I knew of it, it was still there when we turned around. So we drove and drove. Actually, we drove back to the other side where the burger joint was. We drove around there for a little bit, and then I had to get home. So we headed back, and when we went back down, it was gone. So he took me home, and I tried to tell my mother. I was all excited. She kind of wanted to believe me because she knows I don't tell lies. But back in that day, 1967, word wasn't spreading as far as I remember. Maybe it was, and I just didn't hear about it. But my daddy didn't believe it at all, okay? My daddy did not believe anything I told him about that incident. And so my mother kind of stood by my dad, and they didn't believe me. So I can't remember if my then boyfriend told his parents, and they didn't believe him either. I can't remember. It's been so long ago, friends, I'll tell you the truth. But I remember what my parents thought. And I didn't tell nobody else. And, of course, there wasn't internet then. There wasn't anything but a newspaper. And my parents did take the newspaper. And I found an article a few days later about a sighting in the backyard of someone that lived close around our area, of exactly in their backyard what I had described. And I showed my parents, but they still didn't believe me. Okay. So I really haven't told that story to very many people at all. But I'm sharing it with you because it did happen. It is the truth. I have no evidence of it. But that was many years ago, in 1967. And we're in 2025. And now everybody's talking about it. But back then, friends, people didn't talk about that kind of stuff. Because nobody believed you, okay? That's my story. I know it's a crazy story, but I don't tell lies on my channel or anytime. So if I tell you it happened, you can take it to the bank. What it was, I don't know. But it was weird, okay? But that's my story. It's a short video, but I wanted to get on here and share that with y'all. A UFO or a experimental United States object. I don't know what it was. I don't know, but it scared us. It took us a few minutes to grasp. You better get back in the car. So anyway, I don't know, but it's the truth. I'll catch you next time, friends. I love you. God loves you. Till next time, take care. Bye.